Yes.
Right, damn. Quick video because I'm way behind. I think I only uploaded like 2 this week, so I'm trying to go back to my 3 a day. But anyway, just make my dreams come true. All right, time on attention. I made some videos about time on attention. Get to the point. Why you should make your sets as long as possible, right? Because I got a lot of questions saying why. Even though I love 6 to 8, the 6 to 8 rep range, why do I incorporate drop sets? How do I make 6 to 8 last as long as possible, right? That's what you got. I do drop sets. I do 6 to 8 with a heavy weight. Then when I reach failure at around 7, 8 reps, drop down by about 20-30%. Do it again, on and on. Not only because I'm pressed for time, I do full body workouts. I can't be in the gym for 2 hours with school and things like that. So it's a great way to extend my sets. And I got the most gains when I start extending my sets, guys, especially during my overtraining phase. When I go to my my typical growth phase, that's when I do straight sets, heavy, pure 6 to 8. But during my overtraining phase, obviously I was doing a lot of extended sets. And here's a few reasons, right, for my fellow nerds out there, why you want to extend your sets, make them as long as possible to go from this to this. And if you look familiar, it's purely coincidental. All right, guys. So time under tension. Obviously, watch the video called Getting Stronger Does Not Mean Bigger, where I explain that volume is more important than intensity. Intensity meaning how heavy you lifting. Don't think intensity simply means being in the gym for 3 hours. And I explain that, give several examples using facts. I explain how, yes, you need heavy weights, right? You're not gonna get big curling, a pencil, but at the same time, if you have to balance things out, volume should always be more than intensity. As far as heavy weights, and I explain, like if it's all about pushing heavy weights, weightlifters will be the biggest guys on the planet because nobody moves as much weight as weightlifters. Powerlifters will have the biggest chest or legs if you cut them down to 8% body fat, and that's not the case. You take your average powerlifter, you cut him down to 6% body fat, he will not have a bigger chest than a bodybuilder, but yeah, he benches way more, he squats way more. So anyway, I made a video about that, watch that. It's all about, yes, heavyweight counts, but it's about volume, right? Reps, rests, a lot of sets. To release the proper. What?
She's moving too much.
Well, you got it up anyway. Put it down.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, you put up quite in my videos. Okay. All right. So, few scientific reasons why obviously you want to increase time and attention. Obviously, more blood flow, guys. More blood flow to the muscle. More blood flow means more nutrients. People forget that all the things that make your muscles grow are in your blood, right? The amino acids, the growth factors, the hormones, all these things, they're in your blood. The more blood you're getting into the muscle, obviously the more they're going to grow. More fiber recruitment, right? More motor units. I think some people call it like the Hindman size principle, where the longer a muscle's on the tension, heavy weight, not typical, moving, the more motor units you're going to recruit because the first ones fail. So obviously, even if you start a heavy set, right, and you're using fast twitch muscles, type 2B, whatever, you reach failure, you drop the weight again, you're not only going to use fast twitch muscles, you're going to use type 1, type 2, type 2A, type 2B. So the more fiber recruitment, the longer you're on the tension, right? That's proven. The more satellite cells you're going to activate. I made a video about satellite cells. The more volume, more satellite cell activation, the more satellite cell, the more they're going to donate their nucleus to the muscle, and more nuclei. I made 2 or 3 videos about nuclei already. Make sure you watch those. The more nuclei a muscle has, the bigger it's gonna grow, the biggest capacity to grow, and the more protein synthesis, obviously. Another benefit of time on attention, more mitochondria. I think it's something called PCG alpha something, and it's really what makes your body produce more mitochondria. More mitochondria means more ATP. More ATP means more energy. The more energy the muscle cell has, obviously the faster and bigger it could grow. That's common sense. You could be on. That's one of the reasons why steroids work so well, because not only they increase your cellular cell activation, but they also increase the mitochondrial biogenesis. But anyway, so you get this, you get a bonus. One of the reasons why Tom Glass legs were so fucking big, he did not only heavy weights, but also high reps with those heavy weights. He would do like 30 plus squats on insane amount of weight. So it's not a coincidence that he has huge fucking legs, right? A lot of people say, well, it's because of steroids. Everybody back then was taking steroids. They didn't have his legs. And it's not genetics, because if you look at a picture of his legs before he started training, they're worse than mine. Next thing, you have glycogen depletion. The longer the muscle's on the tension, the more you're going to deplete muscle glycogen. And you guys know how the body works. When you deplete something, your body doesn't just, let's say you had level 8 glycogen and you deplete it to level 5. Your body never goes back to level 8 once it recovers. It always goes back to like 10 or 12. It always try to overcompensate. And so if you deplete your glycogen by doing high time on attention, your body's gonna try to get even more. In order to get more glycogen, your body has to make more room for that. Meaning your muscles, the cytoplasm, the area around the muscle is gonna get bigger. So it's another reason why before a show, bodybuilders go through like a carb depletion phase, deplete glycogen, and then they carb up to get that temporarily, insane increase in mass. Next, you have glucose transporters. Obviously, I made a video about that, called backloading. More time on attention, more concentric reps, the more glucose transporters you're gonna activate. Those are the motherfuckers that they go to the top of the muscle cell and absorb sugar after a workout. And they try these on diabetic patients who are insulin resistant, meaning the body cells will not respond to insulin, so they had blood sugar going around there. They had high blood sugar. When they would work out, the glucose transporters will go to the surface and absorb the sugar. So the more glucose transporters you have, the more your body's gonna absorb sugar post-workout, as opposed to your fat cells. This thing happens one time. And obviously, more volume. Like I said, volume is more important than intensity. Volume comes first, then intensity comes second, right? If you go to the gym and keep curling, let's say 80-pound dumbbells for 2 reps, you're not gonna go too far unless you stay in the gym for super long to match the volume. And obviously, you're gonna, have more protein breakdown. So, how do you make your sets as long as possible? It's very easy, guys. Just change the mechanical advantage, right? I read a lot of articles on that, and I even experimented with different. You got a problem? You want me to put this in there? You can start with, let's say you're doing, actually you could do drop sets, but let's say you don't do drop sets. Let's say you're doing back, right? Always start an exercise with the weakest angle, right? And gradually, as you get tired, move on to a stronger position. So let's say you're doing lat pull downs, right? Everyone is weakest when they're doing lat pull downs behind the back, right? So start doing lat pull downs behind the back. You're still activating your lats somewhat. Let's say we're like 150 pounds, right? As you reach failure behind the back, that's your weakest position. Meaning, once you go to the front, you can probably do another 3-4 reps. It makes sense, right? So that's 5 reps right there. Then you do another 3, that's 8. As you reach failure, don't forget, on the back exercise, your biceps will always fail first. A lot of people think, well, I did pull downs to failure. You never do pull downs to failure if you're using your arms, right? Never, because your biceps always fail first before your lats. So once you do failure in the back, in the front, you can switch to an underhand grip where your biceps are stronger. I actually learned that from Dorian Yates. And you can do another 5 reps, right? So you increasing the time on attention without dropping the weight, right? So you don't have to worry about going too low where you're not recruiting too many fibers. So you get the best of both worlds. For chest, you could start with like a close grip, then slowly go wide. If you're doing dumbbells, you could start I think with this grip, like the elbows close to the body, and then slowly move out or backwards. If you're doing crossovers, you could go like that, and as you get tired, you can start using more triceps, doing this. With biceps, what I like to do is I'll do dumbbell curls, and then when I reach failure, I'll switch to hammer curls, because we're always stronger when you're doing hammer curls. And as you reach failure there, you can switch to alternating hammer curls instead of 2. So that's gonna be easier. And there's so many ways. Triceps, you can start with an underhand grip, right? We're all weakest when we're doing underhand push downs, then go over to an overhand when you reach failure, and even closer. And it's another body part. Shoulders, same thing. You can start with behind the neck and move to the front. I said biceps, triceps. So yeah, just pick any exercise, guys, any exercise, and then find a way to make it as long as possible, right? That's another thing that I learned from my friend Eric that was arrested and locked up for 6 months. I told you guys that story. He came back, bigger than ever. He told me that in prison, they didn't have a lot of equipment. They only had like the pull downs and the dips, whatever. So they had to find a way to make the exercise harder. Because after a while, you stuck there doing, 20 dips. So they would like switch their hand positions when they reach failure to make things longer. So, how long's the video?
9:04.
I told you to tell me when it gets to 5.
You didn't tell me that. You didn't tell me a number.
Oh my God!
You're like, tell me when it gets to.
Video's too long. Comment below if I didn't answer all the questions. I'm pretty sure I answered all of them because I combined all the questions on like how to extend your sets and try to do a whole video on them. If not, I'll make a part 2. Alright guys, I'm out. Alright guys, if you're desperate to get big, desperate to get huge, right? I made a video about it, but I'll say it again. Because I'm training people, like for free on the side, my friends, and I keep seeing the gains every fucking time, regardless of the genetics, right? It is amazing, guys. Squats. Oh my God, as much as I hate, you guys, know me, my old subs.